All right, welcome to Notes 9.4. This continues our unit on transformations, and previously we talked about translations and we talked about reflections, and today we are going to talk about rotations. I think we're all pretty familiar with a rotation. Rotation is nothing more than an isometric transformation in which a figure maps back onto itself. All right, all of our rotations are going to be counterclockwise. Hope you know which way the hands on a clock go. And then we're going to rotate the other way. And that applies whether we're talking about a rotation on the coordinate plane or whether we're talking about some of the rotations that we're going to do with constructions. Again, rotations have two properties, and those are that they are isometric and that they retain the same orientation after the transformation is done to them. Then there's always an angle of rotation, which is formed by two rays drawn from the center of rotation to corresponding points on the image and pre-image. So let me do a quick sketch of that. All right, so here we have our center of rotation, and the red is my pre-image. So I'm going to draw a ray from my center of rotation to my pre-image, and then I'm going to draw a second ray from my center of rotation to a corresponding point on my image, and this angle right here, that is my angle of rotation. So frequently we'll be rotating our figure about the origin on a coordinate plane, and when we do that, there are certain rules that that we follow, certain patterns that appear frequently. And so here are those rules. When we've got our point and we're going to call our point AB, and again, we're always rotating counterclockwise, then here's what happens when we rotate 90 degrees. AB becomes negative BA. And then when we go 180 degrees, AB becomes negative A, negative B. And for a rotation of 270, we get B, negative A. And this holds true whether we start in the first quadrant or no matter which one we start in, this is going to happen. And you should probably memorize these rules. That would be a very good idea. Although, if you ask really nicely, I might show you in class my super secret shortcut method for rotating about the origin. But right now we're going to do it with the rules. So now we have to graph quadrilateral KLMN. And it's got vertices at, let me see, 3, 2, so that would be K, and 4, 2, so that would be L, and then we have 4, negative 3, so down here, that would be M, and we have N at 2, negative 1, so that would be N, and I'm going to connect my vertices to form my quadrilateral. All right, so they want us to rotate at 270 degrees about the origin, and we know when we do that, AB becomes B, negative A. So K prime is now going to be 2, negative 3, and L prime will become 2, negative 4, and M prime will become negative 3, negative 4, and N prime is negative 1, negative 2. So let's plot that. All right, so 2, negative 3, and that's K prime, 2, negative 4, and that's L prime, so K prime, L prime, and then M prime is negative 3, negative 4, and then we have N at negative 1, negative 2, and we plot. So that was N prime and that was M prime. All right, so you can see that the size stayed the same, the orientation stayed the same. All that happened is we rotated 270 degrees. All right, now we need to plot a segment on the graph. We're going to do A is at negative 1, 2, and B is at 1, 6, so 1, 6. And that was A, and that was B, and we've got this line segment. And then I would like you to rotate the original segment 90 degrees, and then I want you to rotate the original segment 270 degrees, and I want you to tell me what A prime is and what B prime is, and then I'm going to ask you for a double prime. Let's call it that, even though it's not too and B double prime. All right, and I'm going to ask you for that in the notes check. All right, we're going to wrap up the notes here because the rest of the notes deal with constructions of rotations, and we're going to go ahead and do that in class because it'll be a lot easier to kind of show you that in person than try to do it here on the video. So, not too bad for today. Make sure if you have any questions that you ask me, and be sure to do the notes check. Thanks.